Hello and welcome, Simon's Trading Channel. Happy Sunday to you. Yes, the end of a week, another week of downside for Bitcoin. Will there be many more? That's the question that's on all of our minds. And if only we knew the answer. Excuse me. I always seem to do sort of some kind of burp when I'm recording the video, and I don't know why, but I must apologize for that disgusting behaviour. I hope you're not too offended. But you're okay because not smell-o-vision. Right, let's get on with it. So this is the weekly chart on Bybit, and as you can see, the weekly closure looks like it's going to come in around that 618 on the Fibonacci retracement, having touched the 0.5 on the Fibonacci retracement. There's still, I would suggest, a danger. Well, only a danger if you're looking for more upside. The Bitcoin does another leg down and gets to somewhere around 49.5. That is where, well, there's basically in my humble opinion, there's a $5,000 range between this the 382, so 49.5, and all of these weekly closures, which clearly we're hitting up against resistance, which should be support when being approached from the opposite direction, and that is at let's just round it up, 44,000. So 44,000 to basically, let's just call it 49. So it's a $5,000 region with which, or within which, if Bitcoin was to continue to the downside, there's still several ifs. However, momentum is that way at the moment on all of the meaningful time frames. But if it did as such, then you would expect it to receive some support thus. So I'm going to stick a blue box there. I don't know how long it lasts for because I tend to clear my charts just before I record the video. So this, I would suggest, is a point at which Bitcoin does not want to close a weekly candle below this bottom area. But wicks within there would be completely fine. And in fact, closures within there would be completely fine. But no closures below the bottom of that blue box. And I think as long as it does that, then it will remain within a weekly uptrend. And generally, weekly uptrends mean bull markets, as opposed to weekly downtrends, which mean bear markets. I think if Bitcoin started to close weeklies below this blue box, so 40, whatever did I say it was, it's just all these closes here, or that closure and that closure, because of course the red candles closed there and there. But where all that price action represents, so 44,000, weekly closures below there, and I would start to look at this as no longer a bull market. So I think the probabilities are not in the favour of such analysis at this point in time, but it's sort of a note of caution. And therefore, if Bitcoin can turn up somewhere between where it is now and indeed, ideally 50,000, but with no weekly closures below 44, then it's continuation of the bull market. But probably you won't be seeing new all-time highs until 2025. That's just my suggestion based on what the price would have to do and what sort of time frame would have to pass before indeed if it got down this low, before indeed it at least got back up to the current all-time high. I would suggest many months. So there we are, that's a bit of doom. bit of doom and gloom. Momentum on the weekly still to the upside, although it's getting closer to the zero line, as every week passes, and indeed has done since the beginning of April. Seems a long way away now. So for a bit more juice, I'm going to switch down to lower time frames, and the daily is the next one I like to look at now. I'd got a little blue box which I've deleted, but I did actually do it on the 4 hour. So I think on that note, I'll just dive back into it. You can see that daily closures back above this area, which is just call it's probably 58.5 or something like that. Well, this sort of 58.5 haven't been achieved, and indeed on the daily, Bitcoin did a beautiful technical, well, so far, I mean, this may not prove to be the case in the long run, but it has respected this support as resistance. So a very technical move down, break support, which is this blue line, followed by revisiting the area then as resistance with likely more downside. The daily momentum is indeed to the downside as well. And let's switch on to the 4 hour. Now my little 4 hour box, this is getting this is why I like to keep a chart. This is why I get rid of things on charts, because it's just much cleaner to not have too much on your chart. Everything makes a bit more sense. So, to me anyway, I mean, you can do what you want. You can have every indicator under the sun on your chart. But I would suggest that if you do that, you'll lose track of what the price is doing and become rather more obsessed with the indicators than what the actual price is doing. But it's not my job to give you, to tell you what to do. I don't tell anyone what to do. I encourage my 6-year-old son to make good decisions, but I also don't make any massive demands upon him. I do actually, my dogs, I tell them what to do. So I told a little lie there. Anyway, the blue box that I put on did nicely mark off the price action that's good so far. I think that's where I had it. Might have been slightly lower actually. I think I had it other closures on the 4 hour. So it was there. If you don't believe me, go back and look at yesterday's video. So I would use that blue box like I did yesterday to suggest that if Bitcoin is going to make a move back into the range of doom that we've been blessed with for 16 weeks, it's not the best blessing, then the first run on the ladder would be daily closures back above 58.5. In a similar way to the daily, which corresponds to nearly these wick closures, or these closures, one was an open, the other was a close, was at 58.250. So 58.5 daily closure, and a good chance to probably revisit $60,000. But I get the distinct feeling that if Bitcoin did do that, it would whack its head up against some serious resistance. Les résistances, etc. And but that would, so if Bitcoin could break above retest and then make another move to the upside, that would look marvelous for more upsides, or at least very much back into the range of doom sooner rather than later. Momentum is, however, to the downside on the daily and indeed on the 4 hour, and it looks like it might be turning back down, which it will do below sort of 56, 750, so not a million miles away from it. It's probably close to the bottom of this blue box. Oh, lo and behold, it is. So yeah, 4 hour / daily closures below the bottom of the blue box. That is more continuation to the downside, with a sequence of the downtrend continuing, lower highs and lower lows, all bar this. Yeah, there we go, 10 minutes. Doesn't time fly when you're talking about charts? Does for me, and I hope it does for you too. And I hope you've enjoyed the price action analysis. I've just realized I didn't have my computer plugged in for this whole video, so there may well be a bit of a delay, and I apologize for that. But please like and subscribe, and join me for tomorrow for the beginning of a new week, Monday. Take it easy, and I'll see you tomorrow.